It's your boy Jay back at it again. Today we got Why Listening to a Woman Will Ruin Your Life. Insane title. Crazy as hell. Off rip. By Southpaw. Boom Show, y'all know what the deal is, man. It's your boy Jay, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to both Jays here and Jays there. Get tapped on my socials. So without further ado, we just won't get right now.
Guys, I'm going to share with you why listening to women actually ruined my fucking life. Maybe some of you guys have been in this boat
saying listening to women will ruin your life is a general statement is actually insane.
Where you invest so much time, energy into a fucking relationship, years, only to realize, holy fuck, I was misguided as fuck. What have I been doing, right? So I've been there, man. And maybe you guys can relate to this video. We're going to get up close and personal with this one, right? So ever since I was a young guy, right, I would always be jumping from relationship to relationship, okay? Essentially chasing ass,
but
okay?
I would counter that by saying, did a woman tell you to just chase pussy? Did she just tell you to chase ass? Did a woman in your personal life tell you that you should go around chasing girls and chicks and all that? Because I doubt it. Like, me personally, I've never had a homegirl or a woman tell me that I should just go around with every girl I see. I've never had that happen to me.
I would jump from relationship to relationship. I always needed a girl there because I always had this feeling that something was missing. I was empty. I had a void. And so I would try to just get a woman's love or get a woman's acceptance and get a woman's sex to kind of feel better about myself. You know what I'm saying? I would listen to what a woman would tell me. I would do everything she says, be simping around all over the place, right? And eventually it led me down some dark fucking roads, right? Listening to everything a woman says can be the worst thing a man can fucking do.
Well, listening to everything anybody says is bad as well. Right? I feel like, obviously, if you're like a kid and you're very young, yes, you have to listen to your parents and, you know, your people in your family that are older than you and things like that when you're a very young child. But however, I think even once you get to the ages where you're in your late teens, right? I think that's where you should start thinking for yourself and actually analyzing what people have to say, because that's when you gain, you know, some level, you know, improved cognitive functions, which allows you to deduct statements and to analyze things people say. And especially if a grown man, you should not just listen to everything everybody says. Like, to niggas who watch me, I don't want y'all to just listen to everything I say and be like, yo, he's spitting. No, if you disagree with me, alright, that's cool. Like, I don't want niggas who watch my channel or my audience to just be a bunch of mindless sheep. Like, no, like, I don't want that, bro. Also, you should always analyze and look deeper into shit. Especially if you're taking advice and mentorship for anybody. Like, it's up to you to look deeper into that. Like, do women tell guys stuff that's going to harm them? Yeah, but guys also tell women stuff that's going to harm them. Right? No sex is perfect, my nigga. And no one's perfect. We're all flawed beings. So to sit there and say that listening to a woman, anything a woman says is going to harm you it's such an insane overgeneralization. And I feel like that comes from a place of hurt. Where I feel like the nigga making this video is hurt, and instead of looking inward in on himself to do some reflection, do some work to decide, how did I get this way? Why do I view women in this light? What experiences led to this? And why do these experiences, why did they happen? Why did they end like this? Like, why did this girl ghost me? Why did this girl treat me like this? Why was I getting treated in this manner? How did this happen? Like, how can I reflect and learn from that? But instead of doing that, he's being very insecure and just saying all women are ass. That's basically what he's saying.
Okay? The decisions that you make in life are going to be completely fucked, right? So I was living way beneath my potential, right? I was always a smart kid growing up. I flunked out of college. I was doing accounting at the time because I was just in a relationship and I was just too head over heels over this particular girl.
Did the girl tell you to not study, my nigga? Did the girl tell you to, nigga, you studying? Lame. Like, I doubt that shit. Like, it's up to you as a man to have a backbone in the relationship and to be able to tell the girl no, my nigga. That's up to you. right? Yes, do some girls use guys for just money? Yeah. But it's up to you to have a backbone. It's up to you to properly analyze to see if this is a relationship that's gonna work or not. It's up to you, my nigga. Like the only way, you are the only person that allows people to walk all over you, my nigga. Cause it's up to you if someone disrespects you or taunts you if you're gonna let it slide or not. That's up to you, my boy.
And essentially, I couldn't really function in the normal life, in the normal world, because I was so over invested into these relationships with different women that I wasn't allowed to actually become a fucking man. But essentially, I got sick and tired of jumping in and out of relationships, feeling empty as fuck, not ever finding a fix, right? Realizing that the majority of women, they tell you something and they do something else. Realizing that putting your trust in what a woman tells you is probably the worst thing that you can do as a man. And it wasn't until I had this really bad breakup, which happened around 2.5 years ago, right? Where I was really invested into this relationship, head over heels for this chick. I was essentially a fucking doormat and she was walking all over the fuck over me.
Like I said, you are the only person that's gonna allow yourself to be a doormat, my nigga. Is she a good person for walking all over you? Probably not, but at the same time, you allowed yourself to be walked over.
I essentially listened to everything she told me to do, only for her to just essentially cheat on me, right? I was essentially getting a haircut, and as I was sitting in the barber chair, the barber who was cutting my hair essentially told me that he had been fooling around with the same woman I'd been in a relationship.
I ain't gonna lie, getting sliding out by your barber is tough. Like that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Getting slimed out by the nigga giving you a fade is the worst shit ever, bro. I ain't gonna front.
With for the past 2 years, right? So that's kind of how it ended. And guys, going through these tough times of wasting years and wasting time and wasting money and wasting energy, it made me realize that there's two options that you have as a man. Okay? You can either listen to what a woman tells you to do, or you can either listen to what your fucking conscience is telling you to do.
Yeah, but I think you should always listen to your internal voice and conscience. Like, I always think that as a man, or just a person in general, you should do what you believe is right. Like, obviously, your decisions can be somewhat determined and influenced by what other people say, so you can get a more broad, a bigger picture of the situation, but at the same time, you should always listen to your internal voice, my boy.
Right? You guys have always heard it in religious terms, right? You have the devil and you have the voice of God, right? You have what the world is telling you to do, and then you have what God is telling you to do, right? Well, I'm putting it in this way, because a lot of you guys are going to be able to relate. You can either listen to what a woman fucking tells you, or you can either listen to your motherfucking conscience.
This nigga just compared the devil on your shoulder to a woman. Is this nigga saying all women are devils, bro? Because that's what I'm hearing, my nigga. That's the metaphor I'm picking up from what he said.
Because the realizations, guys, that I made was that the reason why I was always looking for a woman's acceptance and validation, okay? The reason why I was always doing that was because I was listening to what a woman was saying and I was not listening to my fucking conscience. And what happened
again, is that her fault or your fault, my boy? Is it her fault that you blindly followed and listened to everything she said, didn't do no type of analysis, you didn't do no receipts, no Carfax, no nothing, and you blindly listened to everything she said, and she did you dirty? Is that her fault or your fault, my nigga? Because I ain't gonna lie, it seems like that's more your fault, bro. That you didn't have a backbone, that you didn't tell her no, that you didn't do any type of self-reflection or internal work to heal from that pain, and you decided to just project. Because that sounds like it's your fault, my nigga. I ain't gonna front.
What happens is every single person is born into this world with a conscience. And that conscience is there to guide you to become the person that you need to be to live in alignment with your true fucking self. Okay, pay attention. So when you're not listening to your conscience, when you're going against your fucking conscience and you're doing things that are not aligned with your true self, you're going to live a life of goddamn dysfunction. And ever since I was young, man, I had so many things that I wanted to do. Like inside, I always wanted to be ripped as fuck. Inside, I always wanted to help people. Inside, I'd always wanted to be more than just the average guy and do just the regular shit. Every time I would look at myself, I wasn't really happy with my physique. I always wanted more. And since I wasn't listening to my conscience, living in alignment with my true goddamn self, I was feeling a feeling of emptiness and lack of satisfaction with self. Okay, because it all starts with the self. Self-validation, self-respect, self-discipline, which I'm going to get into later. And so because I lacked that self-acceptance, I did not even accept myself. I was seeking for someone else to accept me. I was seeking for a woman's love because I fucking was ashamed of myself. I didn't like myself. I wasn't proud of my fucking self. I wasn't proud of who the fuck I was. Why? Because I wasn't listening to my conscience. Okay? And listening to everything women would tell me to do, to the point where I would quit my jobs. I flunked out of college, even though I did get an associate's degree in accounting. Okay? All the decisions I was making in life was due to what was pleasing to a fucking woman instead of what was pleasing to my goddamn conscience.
That's your decisions, my boy. Like, he's correct about it all starts with the self, your self-respect, your self-talk, your self-consciousness. It starts in the internal. However, because this nigga's internal world wasn't messed up and he wasn't doing what he needed to do in that regard, right? He wasn't aligning, his goals and aspirations were most likely not aligning with his actions and thought patterns. So his internal world was in chaos, right? In disorder. And so he sought the approval and validation of a woman to fill that internal void. But we all know that obviously doesn't work regardless. Like, trying to seek external things to fill the internal void never works long term, right? Hence why he said he's quit jobs, flunked out of school, and most likely a bunch of other things, because he was seeking validation, which is why I tell y'all niggas not to go crazy over seeking validation.
Okay? And it wasn't until I started to realize, like, holy fuck, every single decision that I've made in my life has literally been a simp-ass motherfucking decision, to the point where I've just been listening to everything a woman fucking tells me to do.
Then again, is your fault. It's, if a woman tells you to quit your job, you can either be like, yes, queen, or be like, nah, I'm good, I need the money. Like, that's your decision to make. That's your call.
And the reason I've been trying to cater to her attention, trying to get her love, and trying to get a woman to accept me, or trying to feel some sort of comfort, was because I realized I was not the man that I needed to be. And I was so goddamn unhappy with myself that I needed that comfort from someone else, because I never accepted myself. How the fuck could I accept myself if I knew that I was not the man that I needed to be? And so that creates a dysfunction internally, that creates a big void that was forcing me to just chase ass and try to get women to accept me and kiss me and cuddle with me, and being all needy and being a little simp ass bitch. Okay? Allowing women to take control of my life. And guys, it wasn't until I started to really listen to my conscience, everything that I knew that I shouldn't be doing, all the things I knew I should not be doing, that I should be doing, that I should be undertaking, that I should be becoming, I started to do it. For a lot of us, it starts with our physiques. Most of the people watching this, okay, when you walk past the mirror, there's always a goddamn voice in your head that tells you, goddamn, I need to lose 20 fucking pounds. Or goddamn, I don't like the way that I look in a shirt. The longer that you ignore that inner conscience, the more that you create that hole within you. You're out of alignment.
I say he's correct on that point. If you sit there and you try to ignore your self monologue, and you just try to say, I'll ignore it, you're repressing it. And repression almost always leads to resistance, my boy. Like I said, what you resist persists. You're resisting that thought. You're resisting that urge. If you don't understand it and transmute it into a more productive outlet or thought pattern, it's going to come back stronger. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you can't just resist. You have to actually understand why you feel that way and integrate it into yourself. Why do you think niggas in anime get stronger when they integrate fully with their inner selves? Asta, Ichigo, Naruto, these niggas get stronger when they integrate their inner demons and actually learn and grow from that experience, nigga. And it's the same thing with real life. You understand your thoughts. You take time to talk to yourself. You take time to really understand why you feel this way and how you got to this thought. You're going to be more whole. You're going to be more calm. You're going to be more relaxed. And I think that definitely relates to this person, the man in this video, because the reason this nigga was making all these terrible plays like blunders and shit was because he didn't take care of his internal voice. He didn't take care of his internal world. And as a result, he sought validation from women and other people. And I need this attention, I need that. And and whether it's a man or a woman you're trying to constantly seek validation from, it's almost always going to end up with you getting the short end of the stick, because it's coming from a place of desperation. You're desperate for attention. You're desperate for that love. And desperation is a fucking turnoff, nigga.
Alignment, bro. Okay? The longer that you ignore these things that are important to you because your conscience is speaking to you, whatever it is. Most guys, it starts with the physical, because that's the first thing we fucking see, right? You guys put this off for years, ignore it, and then you go seek that fulfillment elsewhere when in fact you should have been living in alignment with your true fucking self, with your conscience. And so what I realized, especially for me since I'm in fitness, which is always important to me, as soon as I started to fix my fucking body, everything started to fucking turn for me, bro. Everything. Okay? At the time that I was going through that breakup, I was out of shape as fuck. 225.
Damn.
I couldn't even fucking wake up in the morning. I felt like life was gone, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was going through it. Like Usher says, you got it bad. I had it fucking bad, right? And what helped me get out of that time was understanding that I had a mission to undertake to become my best possible fucking version and unleash my true goddamn potential, which started with my 2 fucking hands and getting to work and being a man who's consistent with his own goddamn fucking word.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta, if you really want to be that nigga, your word has to align with your actions and vice versa. Like I say, if you gonna do some shit, you gotta actually do that shit, bro. Like later today, a nigga gotta record a little JJK video because episodes 1 and 2 just dropped to season 3. So you know a nigga gotta cover that shit real quick. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay? And I began to get fucking in shape. I began to execute daily. I began to build consistency and confidence within myself, not because I was giving myself some bullshit affirmations, but because I was following through with my goddamn actions, becoming a man through fucking struggle. And what I realized was as I began to change my fucking body, as I began to see changes, as I began to stay consistent, as I began to keep my own word, my self-esteem began to grow.
Naturally.
My self-respect began to grow. I began to live in alignment with what my conscience was telling me. God damn, bro, we got to get ripped. We're getting ripped, motherfucker. God damn, bro.
Yes,
I need bigger arms.
The more your consciousness and the more your consciousness, your thoughts and actions are in full alignment, the easier life is going to be. Because it's more unity. It's more focus. It's just better, my nigga.
We're fucking getting it, right? So over time, as I started to get in shape, developing myself, developing consistency, I began to believe in myself more. I began to approve of myself more. I began to make myself fucking proud to the point where I was able to stay single for 6 months, 12 months, a year and a half, 2 fucking years, no fucking problem. Because I no longer had to seek for acceptance and validation elsewhere because no one can give me more validation than the validation I can give to my fucking self. And that's when everything begins to turn, guys. You guys see me make these bouncer videos talking about how to get women and this. Guys, that's not me no more. I'm not interested in that shit. I make that shit because I guess it helps some people out. But it fucks some people up too. Because you guys are always chasing the next woman and the next relationship and always chasing validation externally when the only answer is within. A lot of you guys need to start listening to your conscience. Because you guys can do whatever you want. You can go drink alcohol, smoke weed, hang out with friends to feel better about yourself, fuck bitches and have sex, and you're still gonna feel unhappy as fuck about yourself because you're not even proud of the man that you fucking are. Look at
Like I said, your actions need to align. If your actions and goals align with you getting a lot of hoes and fucking bitches, then fine. But if that lifestyle does not align with what you want to be and your desires, obviously you're gonna feel bad about yourself. Same thing. If eating a lot of junk food and scrolling on Instagram and playing the video game all day doesn't align with who you truly want to be in this life, then of course you're going to feel unhappy and discontent to who you are. Like I said, because I feel like this video, it shifted from a woman or ass and things of that nature to more this nigga talking about how he was hoeing himself because he wasn't locked in. He had to lock the fuck in and actually stick to his word, actually do the hard shit, actually align with what he said he was going to do, and I would agree. Right, obviously, I don't think that listening to a woman is going to ruin your life and that you should never listen to a woman. I think that's a stupid-ass statement. But when he's talking about you need to focus on the internal, you need to lock in, align your goals with your actions and your thought patterns, I agree. I agree with that shit.
yourself, bro. Seriously. As soon as you look at yourself in the mirror, 90% of people watching this aren't even fucking proud of themselves.
I'm proud of it. Nigga, I've posted a couple of shirtless pics on IG because I'm proud of the body I've built. When you are proud of the shit you worked on, that's one of the best feelings known to man, bro. Knowing that I put in the work for this shit. And that I'm growing and I'm better because of it. Like, the amount of confidence, like, my confidence is always at a baseline, mid to high level because of the body I've built for myself.
How the fuck do you ever expect to become the man that you need to be if you are not listening to your conscience and you're listening to what everyone else wants you to do and what everyone else wants you to be? I get guys all the time on this channel talking about how they, oh, my wife tells me that I look fine just how I am, and now, motherfucker, your job as a man is to listen to your fucking conscience and become the man that you need to be, not the man that your wife.
That gave me a jump scare. Oh, congrats! You have no personality and it's ruining Gen Z dating. By my leg out, y'all know what the deal is, man. Fuck. Shit, dead ass gave me a fucking jump scare, bro. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, but I do like the fuck. Oh shit, let me get back my tab. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not saying you should never listen to your wife. No, obviously, if you want a healthy relationship, you're gonna have to listen to your woman. But at the same time, you do have to really look in the mirror and be like, nigga, if I look down and I can't see my schmeat, then yeah, I probably got to lose some of this fat right quick. You feel what I'm saying? But overall and all, I think this video is going to keep going more and more into that, which I've already talked about in other videos. But to summarize, you need to focus on your internal world before you focus on chasing the validation of not just women, but men and other people in general. Because guess what? When you try to make up for your internal lack, your internal void with things people say and or do, it's just going to get worse, my boy. That's just how the world works. But yeah, shout out Southpaw Huncho for this video. And with that being said, it's your boy Jay. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and stay blessed. And I'm out.